Et où l'autre personne? Était dans l'ascenseur? Je sais qu'elle n'est pas hyper rapide, l'ascenseur. Donc, bienvenue, tout le monde. Welcome, everyone, to our Q2 of 2020. Well, not Q2, Q1 of 2026, so our first official GDG Cloud Montreal of 2026. So today we'll have, our main topic is like the hello world. So basically we'll do an intro to Google Cloud with our friend Boris.
I actually doesn't know if it's an intro though.
It's an intro. I'll leave that to you. Surprise us. So that's the main topic. Clicker. Basically the agenda. Well, this is where we are, like the intro. So this will go through the GDG Cloud Montreal team. We'll go through some of the like our plans for 2026 for GDG Cloud Montreal, like what we plan on doing, and some new stuff since January. So that's the thing that I kept updating during the day, because yesterday I said, hey, my slide deck is done. Then nope, it's not done. Like Google comes up with something more in Gemini in the app, and then you know what? Hey, we have a new model like at noon. So thank you. Okay, go. So update the deck again. But that's fine. Just more stuff. Then we'll have a small break. Have some food that's over there. Then we'll come back around 7, maybe earlier, depending on how fast we go. And then we'll do our main talk, and then we'll wrap things up. The end of the day. Sorry. All right. So here's the GDG Cloud Montreal organizers. So there's myself, there's Florian who checked you in, and there's one who's sick. So Caesar who's sick, and Arunesh who had a last minute obligation. He has a business, so he has a dépanneur, and staff didn't show up. So you're the owner. What do you do? So
You need to be there.
Completely understand. So all good. So, but he's the latest addition to the team. Past years was myself and Florian. We added Caesar and Arunesh, who joined us. He was mainly doing stuff in the Windsor, Ontario, and then he moved to Montreal. And said, "Hey, join the team." So the more, the merrier. All right, and of course, I want to say a big thanks to our host at ACENSI. So, Canfong and Benoit. If you want to just take a few moments, just tell everybody what you're doing. And first of all, like big thank you for hosting us and feeding us.
You're welcome, that's a pleasure. And just to say a few words of ACENSI, we're a consulting agency here in Montreal. We are originating from France, and it's been 10 years that we're here. And we're happy to have you today with us. I'll let you do your presentation, and at the end we can meet together. So enjoy your
Awesome.
time.
All right, thank you very much. All right, and if during the event you want to share your pictures, if you take some pictures of the slides or the speaker, if you want to share them, you can scan the QR code. We have a photo album. You can just upload it there. As some speakers like GDEs, like our friend, it's always nice to have pictures because you have to sometimes
justify.
You have to justify the fact that we've like add you to speak. So okay, so there's a picture of me. So that would be nice. All right, so basic code of conduct. So this is for any event anyway. So this is our code of conduct. If there's anything that goes against what's listed here, anything happens, just reach out, come to an organizer. We'll deal with it. That's why we're here. Now we're going to go to, the first talk. So that's me. So I'm going to go through, you don't have to clap. I'll go through our plans for 2026. Next one's going to be like the what's new. So I'm a GDG Cloud Montreal organizer, but also since this morning, GDE, which is a Google Developer expert. Brand new stuff. So good to add it to my
resume.
To my list. Yes, exactly. To my resume. That's not why I said it, but thank you. The big plans for those who are like the first time you come to GDG Cloud Montreal, the way we do things, we try to keep it to like one event a quarter. So we'll have one like until March, then another one in November. So usually we have like 4 regular events, and then we have like bigger events, which we do with our colleagues and other chapters from Google Developer Group within Montreal. So we can talk about like Flutter, Woman Tech Maker, Google Developer Group, Montreal itself, and also all the universities. You have Concordia, you have McGill, and then you have Polytechnic now, who just came up with their GDG on campus chapter, and they have their own events, and they're if you like, I look at their schedule, and it's like, yeah, you're not working during the day, and it shows, because like every week there's something. It's impressive. But it's part of our ecosystem. So sometimes when we do bigger event like DevFest, we'll just join all together. So we pool in resources, and we're able to bring those events over. So for this year, within GDG Cloud Montreal, between like March and April, we want to launch a Get Certified track. So basically, we'll do 6 sessions back to back to back that will bring you to the Associate Cloud Engineer path of certification. So we will go through the motion of going through all the services and everything. And then we were able also to work with Google to get some certification vouchers. So at the end, we'll do a raffle, and whatever number of vouchers we're able to get, we'll give them away for free. So you can go and do your certification at $0, and then it adds something to your resume. Google Cert is always welcome on the resume, and super nice to have. So that's going to be our first track. There is a track from Google itself that's called Build with AI around the globe that goes between February and May. Actually, I've mentioned the GDG on campus, like McGill, Concordia, and Poly. They have one actually happening in March 17. There's already like 487 people that are RSVP'd. Hopefully, they have enough room. It's going to happen at McGill. I'll have the QR code and everything further down the slide. So if you want to take a QR code, register if you're interested. Everybody's welcome. So you have like the build with AI, build an agent, have fun, do this section. Then after that, you have more like the soirée, networking event that's also going to happen. So that's really interesting. So keep an eye out on this one. Like I said, I'll have the QR code and everything later in the deck. There's Google I/O that's happening. So Google I/O is more like centric around like development and other features like Android and all that. It happens every year in San Francisco. So it's usually around June. This year will happen again. And what we do after, is that we kind of bring I/O back to Montreal and kind of do like a smaller version that gives you the TLDR of what happened. So we do that every year. Then we'll have DevFest. In between all of this, there's Google Next, which I'm gonna talk. It's the big Google Cloud event in Vegas every year. It's roughly around like 45,000 people going. And we also try to do a Next recap. So we bring the stuff that's supposed to stay in Vegas, we bring it back to Montreal. So we get the recap also. And then the last thing we're trying to do every November now, we're trying to stick to this, is DevFest. It's a day of talk, conference. We have speakers right here from the last one. Last year was on November 1st, so right after Halloween. So we had the Halloween team also. And we had like roughly like 325 people that showed up. So that was good. It was really interesting.
Networking.
Yeah, so it's a great place to network. You meet people. It's a perfect place. Like-minded people that like tech. You're at the right spot. So, and future topic also mentioned, like we're trying to do like one per quarter. Try to do like a drill, going through the services of Google Cloud itself. So sometimes we have use cases, but sometimes it's nice to see like what can I do within the platform itself. So we'll try to. Our goal is to drill down on those services, and if we have the time, and I would love to be able to do that, it's to also like hint at Google Workspace itself, which is like collaborative, like if you do Google Doc and everything, but there's Notebook LM, there's Gemini, there's a bunch of stuff, there's Google Vids, where it's all those tools that people, sometimes they use it, but they use like 20% of what they can do. So say, hey, maybe I can find a speaker. I know speakers that can actually like come in. So say, hey, it could be interesting to maybe do a team on this, which is more like, hey, how can you like be more efficient at work if you're using Workspace? as a, let's say, off session, but could be interesting. So I would love to do that. So keep an eye out for this one. So just checking on time. I want to go through like what's new in Google Cloud since January. So covering infrastructure, data, app mod, machine learning, also like the more like the consumer application side of things also. So just going through quickly this, talking about like Google Workspace and the tools. Initially this slide is just text slides. And in Google Slide, I said beautify at the bottom, and it generated this. And I just insert it, and ta-da, you're done. So it's nice. The difficulty with this is being consistent through your slide with the same theme. Sometimes it goes somewhere else, and no, come back. But still, if you're able to, it's those type of things you're able to do that are baked in the tool. So just FYI. So one of the things is also like the rise of Gemini 3 and all the AI agents piece. We have Deep Think that came out on February 12th. So if you're actually using either like the API or AI Studio or Gemini itself, you're able to go and do Deep Think. So you're able to go more of like science engineering type of mindset for your agent or your LLM like within the app. So you're able to go like super deep, and it produces like super nice output. We add the agent engine, which is, well, if I have agents running within GCP, at one point it would be nice to have it running somewhere. So the agent engine is actually somewhere where you can drop your agent. It's not just like I'm just going to drop it in Cloud Run. No, there's something specific, especially if you want to do agent-to-agent communication in an easy way. That's where this comes in, and it's now GA. We also have like the agentic vision that can actually help you with Gemini to navigate more, like better understand the UI itself and what you're sharing with them. And well, on the Olympic side, even though, like I said, Team USA, even though like Team Canada just lost at the hockey game, so but anyway, so they have like the AI coaches for the Winter Olympics for some of the Team USA stuff. So running with Google AI. So on the like Gemini and agent. That's basically what like the TLDR, like since January, that's what's happening. If I go on the database and then let's say data and database side of things, nothing major, but some of the stuff basically where it's like vibe coding SQL. It's kind of a thing now. You're able to just like by a comment, like find the weirdest transaction from yesterday that's going to convert into the right SQL query that's going to give you the output. So that's something that was in Looker, which is like the BI tool. So if you're doing LocalM, you're able to do like, but now it's bringing it to BigQuery also, which can be super useful. So if you basically suck at SQL, but you can write properly in a prompt box, you can get the right output. Like anything else, when we do AI, it's like, yeah, it's are you able to express what you want to get the output you're supposed to get? Because this could get weird. Yeah, there's some the Universal Commerce Protocol that was brought up by Google. So basically, think about like agent doing like financial transaction, but they have like a unified framework through that protocol that was proposed by Google and offered to the community. And if you're a Spanner user, basically you can do vector in Graph within Spanner itself. Next one, infrastructure and hardware. So it's always nice to like AI. It needs to run somewhere. Either you have a model that runs somewhere where you've defined an application that calls a model that runs in Cloud Run or like in GKE. So there's some new things out there, like the Ironwood TPU, which is as of February 1st, so it's not that old. They are now within GKE Autopilot. So if you're leveraging Kubernetes, if you're leveraging GKE Autopilot, which is more a hands-off approach to Kubernetes, and you actually need TPUs because you're training models, then you're able to go there. Most of the time was like you need to be able to handle the GKE cluster to be able to leverage the TPUs, and then you have all the operational overhead. This actually like removes this because you're leveraging Autopilot. The other one for GKE again, for on the Kubernetes side of things, is basically it's a memory swap. So basically, if you have like this space that's running out, you can leverage the memory from the node itself to be able to cache out before, especially when you're loading models. And the last one, is Axion V2. This is going to be actually introduced within the next 26, so in Vegas in April. So it's basically Axiom is an ARM-based, like you have your Intel-based processors, but you have ARM-based CPUs also. So now the next gen of those CPUs, which usually consume less electricity, they're less heat, but they are more performant than some Intel model. So in a race of like, we need to build data centers, well, maybe we can be more efficient in the computing, so we can reduce the footprint, and for the same density, we have triple the consumption power. So that's a good way for make that transformation before, like, hey, let's build and you can just like, hey, we're gonna build 2 data centers. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna see you back in, I don't know, it takes forever. Our next one is the security and networking. Security is a topic that I really, really enjoy. But one of them was that maybe some of you heard, like there was the proxy network takedown that happened at the end of January. Basically, like a massive botnet network. So it's like, and Google leveraging AI was able to take it down. So huge win for the internet, more bandwidth, so you can download your stuff. Not a problem. On the for those, and we're going in the workspace stuff also, like Chrome Enterprise, which is basically if you're using Chrome, but the company you work for actually has the licenses, and it brings more control and to your Chrome itself, like policies and everything. When you're home, you do whatever you want. But those policies now you're able to actually like sandbox AI agents, so you can actually do your testing without having security. Say, hey, you can't do that. So now I have a sandbox, but it requires Chrome Enterprise, which is of course not for everybody. If you're in a business that has it, that's a nice little feature. And the last one was quantum safe storage. Say that 3 times fast. Basically, starting February 1st, all the buckets that are created are now post-quantum cryptography signature enabled, which means we're at the era. I was at a meetup at the end of last year, not Google related. That was one of the topics. When AI is able to break some of the basic keys that we take for granted, because they just can, versus like a regular hacker, we need something that's going beyond classic cryptography, and with a new model. And that new model is what's been actually used starting February 1st. So it's kind of future-proofing objects stored in object store, like cloud storage or bucket in GCP in the future. And there will be, I don't know, like, well, what happens for the people that had stuff before February 1st? So there were probably, there's going to be a mechanism, that's for sure, of transfer. But right now, like this is something that's by default. And for the existing footprint that you have, process would be in place to change that cryptography. So depending on how much stuff you have to have, it's going to be a transfer of, like, you have to decrypt, re-encrypt, restore. So it could be on. So yeah, like this one, that was the slide. That was yesterday, and I don't know if I can do it here, but maybe I can do it just on my phone. Might actually work. Let me check. So basically, like, we have the Gemini app, like, on our phone. We were able to do, like, nano banana stuff, like crazy videos. Now we can do music. Like Lyria 3 is there. So you're able to actually do your stuff. And then you can just ask for a prompt. Let's say, I don't know. I'm going to put some volume. Let's see if it works.
I want it pop.
Well, what I did is I need an introduction team for a tech event called GDG Cloud Montreal. This is a Google tech group. I need a mix of 90s heavy metal and K-pop.
Close.
Right? So, let's see. It's super catchy, man. So you have your duo K-pop metal.
Come on.
So yeah, so it's super. Yeah, don't put that on your Spotify playlist, please. But with a prompt, creates your background, and then as a 30-second fade out with the Gemini logo, you're able to do that. And everything is signed with synth ID. So basically, that's your kind of your signature metadata that happened. Like, is this picture created by AI, or is this sound, or is this artifact created by AI? Google puts synth ID on those artifacts. So if somebody uses Gemini to create something, you're able to actually get the synth ID, which is that signature that tells you it was created by the AI. So yeah, so if you want to create instant vibe coding tunes while you're at it, then you can use Lyria and then just waste tokens on creating music. But that was yeah. Well, is it yesterday? Yeah, this morning. So that's this one. And of course, when I was done with that slide, I say my slide deck is done. Now I finished my lunch. Say, hey, you know what? Gemini 3.1 Pro is out as of like today. So basically, Deep Thing got a huge upgrade, and it's way smarter and already integrated in Gemini itself in Notebook LM. It's in preview, so if you use AI Studio, it's also there. So it's the greatest one until the next one comes up. So it's always the same thing. 3.2, man, that's awesome. So 3.5 probably at Google Next, or like 4.0, just blow our minds out. But yeah, but that's brand new, so it's available, and it's rolling out. So slowly it's gonna show up in anybody who's using the application and all that. It's all in there. So I've mentioned Google Cloud Next. So this is something that's actually happening in April. So it's at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. So anybody can go there. It's not just for Google partners. It's for everybody who wants to learn about Google, companies who want to understand what they can do. So it's 3 days of basically talks, event, networking. Like I mentioned, between like 45,000 people showing up. So it's basically when you go there, you're gonna bring good shoes. Don't try to break new shoes when you go at Next. You're gonna regret it. Just your watch is gonna be super happy because like it's midday, then you're 10,000 steps. Yay! Like at the end, 40,000. Oh God. But yeah, so if you have a chance until I think the end of February, the early bird special is still there. I'll be there this year. I am so looking forward to it and bringing back all that nice stuff from Vegas back in here.
A few moments later.
Hello world. So I will start with one question really. Who already opened GCP console? Oh, good. I was about to say not you guys because I know about you. So, okay. Who didn't? Who never opened GCP console? So only one or two. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So if my talk is boring, you guys gonna like it. I love it. So yeah, let's jump into that. Okay. First of all, who am I? Do I stand or I stay like this for the? Like I want. Okay. Yes.
You're in frame regardless.
Thank you, sir. I actually doesn't like the title Google Developer Expert for one reason. I don't know expert of what. I'm not an expert. I'm a guy who I like coding. I'm a developer. I'm a passionate guy. So if you say expert, mean you know everything. No, I don't know everything. Especially when it comes to GCP. GCP is huge. As Stacy was just presenting, new stuff. So I can't know everything. Okay. But the good thing that I like, even when I talk to my kids, because my kids is like, yo, Pop, when did you start coding? Oh, I was a kid, 11 years old. But that's true, actually. I started coding at 11. For me, it was just like a game. It's a fun thing. And I'm very happy that in 2013, I was in the south of France, Toulouse. I started playing with something and they call it Google Glass. So that's actually, I think, where I really start sitting down and be like, yeah, I wanna do real code. I like it. I really like it. So spend time contributing to open source project. 2015, trying to build another startup in the south of France. And I remember I was like, yeah, I want to build a company. I want to do things. So I discovered Dot back in 2015. And the funny thing with that, I think is at that time that they introduced me to what they call Google GDE. because I was a Java developer back then and I didn't know anything about JavaScript. And I think I still doesn't know anything about JavaScript. And I was like, I want to build a web application. And I discovered that Google was creating a project called Dart to compete with JavaScript. I started building my project with it and I received an email, oh, what are you doing with that? So been introduced to that. And since then, I'm doing stuff, day-to-day job, building stuff, but I'm trying my best to contribute because I really like open source. Open source give us something, so I want to give back. 2019, spent time contributing to GCP, some open source project, Flutter. So I'm kind of happy. I'm contributing a little bit to some project around Gemini. So if Gemini have some bugs, I hope I'm not part of it, and GCP too. So that's me in the open source stuff. Some of you ask me, Boris, what do you do right now? I like building stuff. So when I have some idea, I'm like, yeah, some people have some money. They're going to trust me that I can build stuff and open a company. So I'm building right now a company called Oludi. Actually, it's my name when I was a kid. My dad used to call me Olu. So I call it Oludi. And what we're doing right now, we're helping just customer build AI product. There's a lot of buzz around that. Many way of doing stuff. Let's be humble. Nobody got a secret sauce. So if you have any challenges and you're like, maybe someone can help you, that's what I'm trying to do with my company. So we have some project. And I can't say it now. I hope that coming to this conference, I could tell you, but I can't say it for now. I think maybe next month, you will see the other product that I'm building because it will be public announced. I'm building something for the lawyer here in Quebec, and we will join an incubator. And I'm a former CTO of Data Valley. The funny thing is Data Valley is a company that everybody uses the product in Canada. So when I joined the company, when they hired me 4 or 5 years ago, like a CTO, I was like, oh, actually, that's cool. Every time you go into the airport, every time you sit down at McDonald's, every time you sit down at Starbucks, if you do your grocery shopping at any Sobeys brand, meaning IGE, IGA, blah, 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 and you connect to the Wi-Fi, the process of giving you access to the Wi-Fi is Data Valley was building that. So I was the CTO there for 3 years. And I co-founded Stack Lab Canada. So I'm very happy because when they were saying ACENSI France in Canada, so yeah, 5 years ago when I came to Canada, actually, is because I was opening the Canadian office of Stack Lab. I'm a former co-founder of Stack Lab, being acquired by OnePoint, and OnePoint is buying many other companies. So I was very happy to see that, yeah, something that I also built again, being acquired. And we were a Google Cloud Premier Partner. That's how I knew Stacy when I came to Canada because, yeah, Google connection. And yeah, also being part of the Google Advisory Board. So basically it's like saying, oh, Google, take this direction, don't take this direction. But I left that because, yeah, doing many things, I couldn't. But I don't want to lose the GDE hat because I meet people, I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and I like coding. Okay, that's about me. So let's jump into the hello world of GCP. Where do I start? Where do I stop? It's too huge. So what I'm trying to do here, especially because I know you can just go to ChatGPT and say, hello world, we're going to give you everything. So let's say Gemini. That's good. You're right. Come on. You can just go to Gemini or Claude and going to give you everything. So why do you need Boris to come and talk to you? That was when Florent asked me, I'm like, really? What am I going to say, really? What am I going to say to people? So what I will try to give you here is a humble, I would say, my experience. If I have to start today, I'm a newbie. I'm someone who doesn't have a time to read every books, or who's basically also afraid because it's daunting, right? When you start something, sometimes it's daunting. You're like, oh, I'm afraid. The fear of missing out. Maybe I'm not smart enough to do stuff. So that's what I'm going to try humbly to do. So we're going to have it's like a metro. Okay? Are you okay with that? Okay, cool. So how do I start? Who know Firebase? Who's playing with Firebase? Who's using Firebase and having app in production? You too? Make like this again. I love it. I like it. You know why I like it? Because actually 90% of my project today I'm saying to people, you're losing your time with GCP, for real. Sometimes Firebase is enough. All you need. You start there, you stick there. The story actually is like Firebase was a company aside building their own infrastructure, their own platform, aiming, to be the number one serverless platform, and Google just acquired them. Like, come here, guys, you're building cool stuff. And when we acquire you, we're gonna merge together the platform. The underlying platform will be merged. But actually, it's a good platform. So why am I saying that? If I have to redo my learning 10 years ago, I would be like, yeah, maybe I need to really start with Firebase before going to the Mastodon. With Firebase, and I will share with you the console, right? I will share with you, you see Firebase, but let's go to the presentation first and we'll jump into the quote-unquote demo. So with Firebase, you have basically everything you need to do to build an application, from the authentication layer, the storage layer, the hosting, simple hosting. I have my app, I just push it there, it's available. If you go to GCP, you're going to crush your head. Which product do I use? Oh, it's complicated. Oh, do I need to be a DevOps? Oh, do I need to be a full stack? Blah, blah, blah. Name it. With Firebase, it's simple, it's hosting. And as I say, you can have maybe everything over there. The thing is, the label, Firebase is kind of used for MVP or startup. Why? Because maybe they understand quickly the pricing model. The feature is kind of huge. It's like, oh, let's go Firebase, you do your prototype. But honestly, you can use Firebase for everything. Okay? You can use Firebase for anything. I would say for your needs. When it will come to difficult stuff, infrastructure control, advanced network, you have to deal with VPC, enterprise grade, as I say, compliance. You need to justify many things. That's where definitely you will need GCP. Make sense for you there? So where do you start? Where I'm going to start today, I will maybe look at Firebase first, easy, friendly, before moving to the Mastodon. Okay. Another thing is, as a geek, we like building everything, especially now. Claude, I need this. You're going to do it in 10 minutes. Why do I need to go and use another software? So yeah, we like it. And even before AI, we have the tendency of just, deploying stuff, building stuff. You know what some CTO like to do? They like to say they have many departments. I have a DevOps team. I have a FinOps team. Name it. I have a DevSecOps. I have a Data Ops. They have many teams. It's like, oh, now we need MongoDB. We need to deploy MongoDB in any VMs. Oh, let me ask my DevOps team. Come on. Maybe you don't need a team to maintain and to manage the infrastructure and the deployment and everything. So humbly speaking, I know Stacy will tell you that. You go to the marketplace, click to deploy. And if you're concerned about the billing, most of the time, go back to my days as a CTO, you receive the billing from Jira. You receive the billing from GitHub. You receive the billing from GCP. You receive the billing from something else. Maybe it's cool to just have one billing, right? That's it. So with the marketplace, you will have a lot of solution and product, whatever you want to call them, solution or product. You just go there, you pick the one that suits your needs, press a button, and you will have a unified billing. Let's see, we'll unify your billing, just one invoice. And also on top of that, because the solution is vetted by Google, is on GCP, so for sure you will be like, okay, the way you secure your infrastructure by default, your solution that you will deploy with the marketplace will also benefit from that. Does that make sense? So those are the two things that I will say to people. Sometimes just start there. Maybe you start with Firebase. If you think you need to jump into GCP without knowing exactly what you want, maybe you go there. And if tomorrow you're like, oh, MongoDB is cool, you don't need a DevOps maybe here. You just need to go and press a button on the marketplace. Do you know about the marketplace? Who know about the marketplace? The people that I expect, they know that. Cool. Yeah, funny. Yeah, maybe I will share after, but let me share that to you right now. When I joined that Valley, since I'm not there anymore, so I can share the story with you. I'm happy to share the story. When I joined that Valley, come on, deploy Apache Kafka. I'm not going to detail of what I did, otherwise we will take another hour of conference. Maintaining Apache Kafka on the compute engine that we will see is basically your VM. Spending time there, having my DevOps crushing their head, waking up at 3 a.m. We need to hire another 2 DevOps. It was like, oh, we're just spending time maintaining a solution. We don't have the expertise in compute engine. Instead of saying, it was more the security stuff. It's not like the solution underneath was not working, but the way it was deployed, it was like, oh, if we go to the marketplace, as I say, install complex stacks, click and deploy is coming with the way the company would deploy on GCP on the marketplace already defined, the way it need to be perfectly deployed, if that makes sense. So it's a simple stuff, but that can save you a lot of hours. Oh, your toolkit. As a developer, I just put this one because I think it's cool to tell you that. As I say, yeah, Gemini, not Claude, not ChatGPT, Gemini. Some of you already had access to the Cloud Console. The good thing with the toolkit that they provide, in my opinion, personally, is like I want to say unifying toolkit. It's a unifying toolkit in the sense that the thing that you can do on your terminal, installing, for example, a solution like the name is missing, the G Cloud SDK to interact with Google Cloud. You can do that in the Cloud Shell if you go to the console directly. And now also on your terminal, you can play with Cloud Clee. Who's playing with Gemini Clee, I mean. Who's playing with Gemini Clee? Gemini Clay, Cloud Code, none of them. Oh, that's cool to know that you done Cloud Code, nobody? Gemini Clay? Okay, so I will do a demo of that. Okay, I will do a demo of that. So it's basically in your terminal, you install your AI agent who interact with Gemini LLM and do anything that you want. Okay, so you have it. And the anti-gravity is the latest, I would say, IDE. So to just do your development and with many agents inside, many way of doing crazy stuff. If I say VS Code, you will be aware of that. If I say cursor, you will be aware of that. If I say which one, Replet, you will be aware of that. So Google just came with his, I would say, Mastodon in January, I think so. So it's Google Anti-Gravity. So you have that toolkit for you as a developer. And the good thing here, as I'm saying, because we're in the Hello world of GCP, perfectly integrated to communicate with your GCP project. Does that make sense? I will pause a little bit here because that's what I usually do during my conf. I'm not giving a lecture, I'm not good at it. And I would like to ask you if the pace is good, if you have any question at this point. Good? Okay, sounds good. I like it. But the thing is, I would like you to have many questions. And feel free to ask anything. Maybe I know, maybe I don't know. That's what I do. That's Stacy know about me. I want to ask you every question. So let's talk about something me I'm proud to say to people. Take your time before you select the solution. Take your time, because even if you know exactly what you want to do, the what, the why, even if now with LLM, Cloud, Gemini, GPT, the how is not a problem anymore. I think it's really important to understand the platform and pick the right tool for the right needs. Okay, so do you really need a full control of your operating system? What does that mean? It's a big word to just say. Do you need access everything to manage your virtual machine? Like you have the control of your laptop? If it's the case, if you're sure that the solution that you want to deploy, you want to go and basically play with the operating system, Compute Engine is your friend. Okay? You will need that. It's basically just your VM, right? It's your virtual machine. It's the whole solution where you have access to your virtual machine, total flexibility, legacy apps. Back in 2017, so in the south of France, I'm proud to come from the south of France. I don't have the accent anymore, but I can switch and speak like a guy from Toulouse, but I'm not going to do it. But in the south of France, so one of the company I'm very pleased I've helped basically move into the cloud was Airbus. And the idea when you have those big mastodon, they want to come to the cloud, we say we're adopting the lift and shift. He was walking there, we're not going to touch anything. If there is any bugs, you let the bugs. If it's not properly built, we don't care about it. You want to come to the cloud, you want to go to the cloud, we're going to take your dirty stuff and we're going to put it on the cloud. So we call it the lift and shift. And to do that, we're like, oh, because you were running on-prem with your virtual machine, we're going to, let's say, book the virtual machine online. We're going to rent the virtual machine online, and we're going to deploy your solution over there. Don't tell us it's not working because it was already not working on-prem. So that's it. I know Stacy will say differently, but me, I see it that way, right, Stacy? When he tried to... when he's trying to bring customer to the cloud, he's like, oh, it's going to work. No, Boris is going to tell you, your thing was not working. It's not us. It's not GCP. It's not. We book a VM over there. Your VM was there. Let's even try to have the same configuration. That's it. So computer engine will be, it's basically, I think, only used for that. Go ahead, man.
That was just like, it's one of those things where it's, hey, like it's supposed to work in the cloud, then the customer says, I have a Windows XP machine running fully, but I need it in GCP. So it's 32-bit.
Exactly.
There's nothing that works. It's not supported. So how do I bring you there and say about I need it? Like this is critical.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's part of those like lift and shifts. Like this is replatforming.
Exactly.
So then, hey, here's 6 months.
6 months of
migration of the window.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a year. It's going to be 2. But
so that's it. We call it lift and shift. And for me today is more about is best suited for that lift and shift. So the computer engine. But you can also want to play. You want to have your playground. When you say developer, you connect to the VM, you do some stuff, you try. Okay, but I won't call it production application. Okay, no, I don't need them. Okay, I would like to go because it's cool, because people are talking about Kubernetes. I need to put that on my resume to have a job tomorrow. Right? Yeah, me, I think I just spent a year using Kubernetes, and I see after that, I don't want to use that thing anymore. It's complicated, it's difficult, it's huge, it's, oh my God. I see a startup there too, they're building an application for maybe just 10 users. Oh, they're going to Kubernetes. For what? Come on, guys. Oh, because it's cool. Okay, do you really need to manage Kubernetes online? Yes, some companies do. Some company have the real need of using that industry standard. You don't worry about the upgrade. You don't worry about a security patch. All those things that you need to know when you're building your container, you deploy on Kubernetes. Let's go to the Google Kubernetes engine. If it's not the case, and you think it's really cool to have your solution that you Dockerize, I say Dockerize actually, it's container because there's not only Docker to build container, but it's cool to say Dockerize because it's the well-known solution to build container. Okay, so you have that solution and you want to deploy in the cloud, you have Cloud Run for that. I'm going to ask you, who already play with Cloud Run? So it's cool. No? Never? But you heard about it? Yes, okay. So let's say, for example, let me put it in a more simple, humble way. The way you make your Docker container run somewhere, you decide you want that to be available in the cloud, and you're going to call it through HTTP, select Cloud Run. Okay, that's a hello world of saying that. Okay, so, and the good thing also, because I'm a poor guy, let's say it that way. I'm trying to save my penny, my money. So if I deploy on the cloud and I wake up and like, oh, it's too expensive. So I will put in Cloud Run. Why? Because if nobody is calling that, it's scaling to 0. So my solution is there, but I'm paying $0. Okay, where you're not gonna have the same thing with computer engine, with GKE, because it's there. You're basically renting the resources, and you're renting the fact that your solution is available every time. With Cloud Run, the downside will be like, wait a little bit. The cold start. Please wait, I wake up and I'm ready to serve you. Okay? So with that, yes, you're using Cloud Run. On the other hand, my customer come to my application. When they register, I send them that email where they have the code. Oh, it's a trigger stuff. Oh, someone authenticate. When they authenticate, I would like to do something to check. Oh, is it really Florian? Oh, come on, it's not Florian. Oh, I don't want that logic to be there every time, right? It's just like we call it trigger. I serve you and I go to sleep. That's it. So it's a serverless approach, right? So you're going to use the solution called Cloud Function. Does that make sense for you? Now, if you join maybe a big company like Six Soleil Best Practice, you join like maybe Data Valley today, you go to any kind of Google event, they tell you which solution, Boris, do we use between Cloud Run and Cloud Function. Look what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say, don't look at this one. Really. Why? Because if you really think and understand what Cloud Run is, as I was telling you, because you never play with it, oh, I can make my solution run anywhere. Oh, I like it. I do prefer that one. So I can make it run in Cloud Run, and tomorrow, because I'm not happy with Google, I don't like them anymore. No, I don't like them. So I take that solution, I go somewhere because it's a Docker container. With that, just that thinking approach, you're good, right? So with that, be humble and say, maybe I would like to stick. Everything I will do, I will stick with Cloud Run. On the flip side might be difficult to maintain your Docker and everything that comes with it. Where in the other side, Cloud Function is like, we call it Lambda in AWS. It's simple, right? So it's not like one is good and one is bad. You need to think, okay? Make sense so far? All right. Or the storage, where do we put our stuff? Where the bank is putting my paper and everything when I upload to the cloud. I'm sure they're using cloud storage. Okay, so your unstructured data, your PDF, all those things, your photo. I don't know if Instagram is on GCP, by the way. No, I don't think so. Everybody's giving their money to Jeff Bezos. That's why it's rich and big. No. So I think they're on the AWS. But let's start with this one because we really like it. Cloud storage is that. It's the place, the bucket. You put your stuff, it's your garage, you put everything there. With that being said, it's easy. So in the Hello World, what I would like maybe to tell you, you keep in mind when you go back home, if you think at it like a storage, sometimes you're like, no, let's say the fridge. I like the fridge. It's just coming to my mind. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to eat that thing today. But at the same time, I don't want to put it on the trash. Put it in the fridge, right? So you think of it like that. So you have also a way to organize the stuff you're putting there. Why? Because you want maybe your application to be quote unquote kind of tied to the logic of the way you're storing your stuff in the cloud storage. Okay. If you request the photo every time, okay, you have what they call, if I'm not mistaken, the class name. Exactly. So you have a class name that will be kind of standard. Is there. It's always available for you. You can call it anytime, and I'm going to serve you. I'm going to give you the file. But that will also come with a price. But if you know that, maybe that file, my customer requests that file once a month, I'm going to put somewhere when I know that it's not available every time. At the same time, if they just request that file once a year, like when the taxes, the period arrive, everybody's now going to look, where do we put that receipt and everything? So you put it in somewhere else. Okay. Why am I sharing that with you? I'm sharing that with you so you have just a reflex now on saying, oh, when I go to the cloud, the solution is available, but for cloud storage, I put my stuff there, but maybe Boris told me that I need to check where exactly I put them. Okay. That's one thing. Let me switch in this way. The Cloud SQL stuff. Cloud SQL is a beautiful word just to say your relation database managed by Google. Let's put it that way. Okay. When I say manage, for me, it's the thing that I definitely would like us to understand that if we focus on which problem we're solving, we better instead of focusing just on maintaining the infrastructure. That's what I'm trying to say to people every time. It's like, we can have the MongoDB and we hack MongoDB. I can start installing it. Postgres, MariaDB, name it, MySQL server, and maintain it. I say I'm a DevOps guy. It's challenging. You go into the cloud to focus on solving a real problem, and the infrastructure take care of it. So that's Cloud SQL over there. Okay, make sense what I'm saying? So that's your relation database. For your NoSQL database, only Firestore is coming to my mind. I forgot the other one, if they have any other one.
Big table.
The big table, yeah, I think I have big table. Thank you, sir. But here, why am I saying Firestore? Because, and it's in yellow also, I made it on purpose. I changed. I was like, it was not in yellow first, but I put it in yellow. Is the NoSQL database who's coming with the Firebase solution. Okay. So it's like now is known by every Firebase developer. Oh, I'm just going Firestore. But back then, when Google acquired Firebase, they brought Firestore. The built-in solution in GCP was named Data Store, right? And yeah, this one is just better, more performance. And we've seen all those mobile applications built on top of GCP. As soon as something is happening in the database, boom, we see the update directly on the client. So because the real-time performance is just really, really great. Real-time sync for modern application. Okay. And maybe I will be the guy who doesn't too much know about BigQuery because it's really difficult for me. When I see the underneath platform, I'm just gonna say for any kind of analytic need that you want to do, you have your big machine who's taking care of your data and give you all the meaningful insight. So your data warehouse per se. Okay, so you have BigQuery. Don't start your application by saying, I need BigQuery. Come on. Hold on. Start your application, and when you now say, which beautiful insight I would like to derive from my data, which meaningful information I would like to derive from my data. How am I going to be sure that I can extract the best value from my customer by looking everywhere? And also maybe because my data became huge, yeah, you have that beautiful data warehouse. Full disclosure, I can share that secret with you. Maybe less in Canada, but it was the case more in France, where I was helping customer move to GCP. All the other solution was great. You can basically build like a table, you map. On GCP, I have this. On Azure, I have that. On AWS, I have that. Fine, guys. Yeah, fine. But when it comes to the data warehouse, still today, I think everybody is okay. That's the number one on the market. I'm not saying that because I use GCP product. All of them will tell you that. That's basically the Google secret sauce. It's really powerful when you want to do your analytic, when you want to derive information. But I'm not the best at speaking of that. Okay. Any questions so far? All good? Is it what you were expecting? I say hello world? Yeah, kind of. Good. Okay, now let's jump into the AI. It's called product solution that you could have. And what can I see here maybe for you? Let me share here my personal story now that I'm building a lot of product on top of GCP. So we have like 3 big project that we're building without having a data scientist in the team. You have the product that will be introduced, joining the incubator with, no data science on the team, no ML engineer too. But building the product, taking advantage of Gemini and the Vertex, because the platform itself is your the perfect solution to serve your need when it comes to ML, data science, training your model, evaluating your input, your prompt, and everything. So you have it. If you come with your custom model, let's say now, okay, Boris, you say you don't have a data scientist, but we do have, and they work in the train stuff. So you go over there, they're going to deploy the model, and through Vertex AI, they can serve their own and customize a model. Does that make sense? Now, no, I don't have, like is the case for us, but I have a lot of data I would like to train the model on it Google will come with the auto machine learning solution where you give your data, but you need a team also to know what they put in. What I like to say is garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you do, oh, it's GCP. No, it's your data. Dirty in, dirty out. Okay, but AutoML is there if you know exactly what you're giving the model and you want GCP platform to train your model. Now, okay, I think maybe I won't say anything here because everybody, the whole world is playing with Gemini. So the multimodal, I think Stacy already covered it. I can't wait to go and play with the 3.1 and trying to see the difference. Who's building an app and calling Gemini behind the scene? Just you two? No, guys? A little bit? Okay, what are you building? So let's put it that way.
Oh, a little app.
A little app. And what are you throwing to Gemini? What are you putting inside?
Well, a prompt to change images.
Okay. Oh, so, okay. But it's not like you, because why am I asking the question? Let me rephrase. Yeah. Multimodal, right? You can put image, you can put music, audio, you can put text. That's why I was asking, just to see which kind of info you put in the model. Anyone who want to share something? No? Go ahead, Stacy. Please, let's go. Make it.
So I built an interview app.
An interview app. Tell us.
So it's you tell it what you want to interview about. So probably maybe you are preparing for a software engineering interview.
Good.
You speak to the app. You tell it maybe you are preparing for Java, React, something like that. Then it extracts it as a text and send it to Gemini API.
Good. So you're using speech to text first. You're sending the text to Gemini. Okay, so you're giving. So you're not really doing the multimodal stuff, actually. You're sending the text, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it generates the questions, then bring it back. Then I use text to speech.
Okay.
It speaks to you like an interviewer, and you answer it.
Good.
After it sends your answers and everything back to Gemini to check if everything is fine.
Congratulations. Let's go. Keep doing that. So yeah, I put it that one, but it was like, yeah, everybody is aware now of the LLM, which model to use and blah, blah, blah. So I'm putting here to tell you just like, you have many ways to interact with Gemini. And as a developer, you just pick your programming language and you're going to have the perfect SDK to just call it like you were calling any other kind of API. Okay, so that's it. It's not difficult. But the thing is, if you want to really understand a little bit what it's doing, when you go to the chat interface and you put in your PDF, let's say, for example, notebook LLM, you put your audio, anything. So if you build your app, let's try to see also play with that. Okay, you see how good it is. And yeah, if you have so many kind of standard tasks, more difficult thing that you want to do, you want to maybe train them for more vision, speech to text. Humbly speaking, I think those two will be merged in more, month to come. We're just going to say Gemini API. Okay. So that's it. And beyond the model, and again, I will share with you some part of the console. Everything that I'm saying here, we're going to explore the console a little bit. Me, I like building also on top of GCP. It's not like I know too much about AWS and Azure. I'm sure maybe giving you also that they give that flexibility to developers. But I'm not just only using Gemini, full disclosure with you. But through Vertex AI, I can use some of them. I'm a French citizen. As soon as we have Mistral, I say, I'm going to use Mistral too. Mistral is the French LLM model. Just to be also like, yeah, I'm using that. But I can go to they call it the model garden, where you basically just pick which model you want to use. You take advantage of the GCP infrastructure, security, and you're going to call it like any other API. Just make your API call. And the beauty too, you have a unified billing, right? Make sense? Cool. But you need to keep your API key somewhere safe. Otherwise, someone can steal it and use your API, and you're paying for its token. Okay, so that's the thing. So be careful about that. But the good thing I will share with you, maybe some of you doesn't really understand when I say the model garden. We will go to the console and you will see many models that you can just start playing with. Okay, now if you build a real application, like the one is building, and you say, okay, I'm calling LLM model through Vertex AI, whatever, I pick any model on the model garden platform, how do you evaluate really the performance per se, but more importantly, the responses of your the model based on the question that you're asking him or the input that you're giving him. So that's where you have also a perfect place. I think the ML engineer, data scientists, they really like that space in Vertex AI where you can just evaluate the quality of the responses based on what you expect. Okay, and that's something, full disclosure, we're doing a lot at OLOD because it's not just about calling the model and having the response. That's fine. If you're building for a high-stake domain like the medicine, the lawyer, the response is not enough, right? You need to evaluate them. And not only evaluate, you heard about the hallucination. That's a big challenge still today. I don't know if any of them really solve it. When I say any of them, I mean Anthropic, OpenAI. Hallucination will still continue to happen, but as a developer, we need to be smart on how we're building an application, calling Gemini, saying, oh, we're building a enterprise level application. How do we ensure that we reduce almost to zero the hallucination? That's where you have the vertex search with the RAG, retrieval, augmented. Go ahead. Exactly. You know about it? Because he said it's the one who's going to answer if you don't know. Everybody know about it? No? Okay, I will put it again simple way. I say hello world. I'm at grade 4 at school. You're asking me something. If I don't know, I'm going to take a book, I read, and I tell you. So my source of truth is my book. Someone gave me that book. When I graduate, I have 2 books. You ask me a question, I don't know, I take those 2 books. The more I have those books, I'm building my library. Because I don't know, I will be like, oh, you didn't give me the good book. That's maybe not nice because you will say, oh, Boris, your library is too small. But maybe it's cool because I will tell you the truth. I will never lie to you. If I know, I know. If I don't know, it's cool. Right? So that's the retrieval augmented generation. You're creating a private corpus, private knowledge, and you have the control of that knowledge. And you're saying to the LLM, if you don't know, check over there. So it's able to say, I didn't find over there. It's cool, right? Go ahead.
Does it reduce hallucination?
Yeah, that will you trying to reduce hallucination with that. But the thing is, the LLM got also reasoning. Okay, let's say, now let's act as a developer. If you're a junior developer, and that's what is happening right now, that's why I'm taking that example. Have you done your code? Yeah, it's working. If you never face an issue, face a problem, Gemini, just do it. It's telling you it's working. You're going to believe it. How did you know that it's lying to you? Because you don't know. Okay? So yes, hallucination will still happen, but you need to have a way to control it because it's going to tell you something and you don't know, right? But at least you reduce because you're creating that private corpus, right? So there's many ways of doing that. And for example, the ADK that Stacy presented, I think you presented the fact that now we have the managed version. I forgot the name, Stacy. Because me, I'm still building application without the managed version of AGK's Agent Development Kit, right? Is Vertex the name of?
Agent Engine.
Yes, Agent Engine, right? It's just ADK managed for you. So you have a way to connect your application if you use that. Think of it like an SDK and say to that SDK, oh, look, that is my private corpus. Okay, but you will have to use this platform. And I'm going to show you all of them. I'll go to the console and we're going to look at it. You can connect your Drive, you can connect your Jira. Basically, where is the info that you want me to give you, from which you want me to give you answer. But again, garbage in, garbage out. Go ahead, man.
What's the difference with grounding?
The difference with grounding, how can I explain? Can you help me with that? It's asking the difference with the grounding, the info. We're doing the grounding, but a good way to explain that to you. I mean, I think I did you crawling, but I don't want to lie to you. I'm not really confident of the answer over there. Someone know? No?
Gemini.
Let's ask Gemini. I think that's what we're going to do next time. We're putting an audio, and it's like my kid is, okay, Google, c'est quoi la météo aujourd'hui? Because say, hello, Gemini, someone asked me this question, I don't really know how. That's me. If I'm confident, I'm telling you. If my mind is like, I don't want to lie to people when it comes to technical stuff. Even if I have some answer, but I'm not really confident. Okay, again, in the Hello world, if I have to start today, the first thing that I will look if I build an application is who is accessing my application. So the who and what are they doing in my application. So authentication and authorization, right? Who are you and what are you doing, right? And the good thing is on GCP you have it, the identity access management, IAM. And when you start your application by default, it's basically like secure. Nobody have access, only the one who created the application, and you go there and you give access to it, to the application. Okay, so that's something that it's really great in my opinion. So basically the zero trust architecture. And the funny thing is when you start some kind of application, that happens. You create a new domain. Let's say I create a domain B. But the thing is, to create a domain B, sometimes the user A who have it. Okay? To create a new company, new domain, new GCP organization, and you end up being like, oh, I create that, but the one who create doesn't have access. Oh my God. Yes, because by default, it's two different domains, so that's the way they build the system. So less privilege. I'm starting something with the identity access management platform is very secure. Any question here? Don't want to jump too much in the security stuff. The FinOps part. I put this one not to really talk about FinOps. For me, was more to give you idea how to save money on GCP. And sometimes for me, it's tricky to talk about it because the cloud provider like you to when you spend your money on the cloud. Right? So it's like, Boris, you're GDE. They need to use GCP and really spend money. And you want to give a talk to prevent them to spend. So it's like, no, I'm just kidding. But you need to know if you're building a real application on the cloud, mini level. Let's say you're just regular guy who's starting your project. You put in place some kind of logic to ensure that if you just have $10 you want to spend, you don't wake up and you spend 50. You have the budget, everything in place for that. But that part I'm not going to really talk about. Let's maybe move in the enterprise configuration mindset. Okay. The thing is, there's many ways to save money. Right? You come, for example, and you say, for instance, we're going to build a product. We're going to use Compute Engine for the next year. You call them and you say, we're going to spend on GCP for the next, let's say, 2 years. You have a discount by doing that. But more people sometimes, they don't know about it and they're like, oh, we're going to spend. No. We go and you look at what they call the committed use discount. It's because you know you're going to spend money. And it's not like you have to call Google. And again, I'm going to show you through the console. You just go and you select the product or the resources that you know you're going to use. And you say, oh, I commit. And by doing so, you have some discount. Yeah, you will hear about the budget, the alert, the email. Why I'm not sharing that too much with you, even if I'm telling you. The reality is like those systems are alerting systems. I'm already tired of having email from Slack, looking my Slack, email here, email here, email here. And the reality is like if you put quota or limits, you don't really want to do it. Why? Because if you put limits really, and you see, for example, the application will stop, depend on the environment. If you do that in the staging, your customer will say, app is not working, or because you don't have money. So you need maybe to know about it, but to really think about an approach to save money. So think about the CUDs. I put the cardboard footprint. That's my experience with data valley. As I was telling you, saving McDonald's, Starbucks, the IGN, all those things. I didn't know about it before coming to Canada and Montreal, but it looked like Montreal is the most clean place, right? Lowest carbon footprint. So the VM, compute the workload when they run in Montreal is what they say. It's clean. By meaning it's clean, it's also cost effective, right? What the new developer is doing on GCP. They go to GCP, they create a project. As I told you, you would like to play with Cloud Run. You're going to say, okay, I create Cloud Run, but be careful. All those new resources that you create, they're usually in US Central. That means you're playing, but you're playing the US, but you're in Canada. Come on, guys. They're smart, right? So I'm sharing that. So you now have the reflex. Oh, actually, I never knew about it. Even in AWS, in Azure. So maybe you're going to change it. You're like, oh, I put my resource in the region where I'm at because of the latency for sure, but also in terms of the FinOps approach to show that you're not spending money for the traffic and so on. Okay? Those are the small tips. Go ahead, man.
So if it's green, it's cheaper?
Usually that's what they say. Yes.
But is there per unit of computing?
Go say it.
Is the rate per unit of computing cheaper?
Yes. You have, again, remind me that when we go to the FinOps, I'm going to click on something. I hope it's clean what I'm doing. Yeah. I didn't know about it before I come here. I was like, yeah, if you rank, Montreal is the number one. So, and also the reality is many companies need to be compliant with that. Yeah. It's like we have the SOC 2 for the security, but when it comes to being green, so they're like, oh, let's have some workload in Canada and Montreal. Okay. And yeah, they're going to help you with a dashboard that we're going to see together and we'll share with you. You can track your carbon footprint. That's it. That's just I won't say a recap, but anyone is a data expert. I think you were a data pipeline expert, right? Yeah. Any outside of that, because I won't say too much, you're going to correct me. Someone else can correct me? No. Not data expert. So my humble way of saying the data pipeline, you have many steps. What are you doing with your data, right? We select the infrastructure, but we need to feed the infrastructure with something. Where do you capture your info? Where do you process it? Where do you store it? Where do you analyze it? Where do you use it? Okay. So me usually as a guy who's really lazy, I come here. Or I come here because I like it. I come here. Usually I don't like those two things because why I don't like the storage. You know why I don't like the storage really? It's easy to play with it. But if you lose it, don't call me. Because the problem is here. If you lose that where it is, well, so I don't like it. I don't want to be the guy you blame if it's something. But I like play with that. So yeah, you play you capture and you have the pub sub and TDS. I just forget. Help me, TDS? Forget. Data transfer. Oh, I forgot. Data transfer, yeah.
Is it
The ETL is the pipeline, right? It's the pipeline.
So this data transformation?
Yes. Okay. So you have the capture, and on GCP, you have the solution that is PubSub. But they have actually behind the scene, I don't think some of you will, depend on your project, if you're really going to go and use the full PubSub offer. Most of the times the PubSub Lite approach, right? It's kind of like Kafka. So everything is coming. It's your event messaging, I would say, layer. And you have a way now to process your data, depending again on your expertise. And we talk about the storage, we talk about the Tableau. First say Tableau. Okay, so it's good. So you know, you look at some data, right? You play with it. Okay, so you have those built-in solution. Previously, I think 2-3 years ago, before they renamed it to Looker Studio, the solution, the built-in solution, Data Studio, free, doing some stuff, but not really, really powerful. I doubt that after the Halo Award, you will go and have to play with the Looker Pro offer, but it's a perfect way to just have perfect, beautiful visualization of your data, and they put a lot of Gemini into it. Okay, so that's your data pipeline on GCP. Yeah, with Stacy, as I said, I will share at the end. The analytic comparison, why am I bringing this one? As I was telling you about my experience, when I joined, big companies, sometimes they were like, oh no, we don't want to use it. Oh no, we don't want to use it. Oh, we're going to use BigQuery. We're going to use Bigtable. That's just, if we make a wrong approach here, we're going to end up with a big technical debt and spending a lot of money. So that's why I'm posing here. I'm not being a data expert, but I can definitely tell you, be careful here. What is your data warehouse? Where do you want to have your data? Analyze them. Be sure that, you will do any kind of built-in machine learning capabilities. But when it comes down to say, okay, we want to have a high speed, the traffic, operational workload will be very, very, in terms of performance, that's your NoSQL database where you're going to store your data. So one is a real database, another one is your data warehouse. The company that I won't name, I work for, was using this one like the database. At the end of the month, the CEO was like, oh, that thing costs a lot, huh? I said, yeah, because the solution is difficult. No, it's because that was the database. I'm not there anymore, so you won't blame me. Okay, those are the kind of things just to be careful. You can ask that to Gemini, but now I told you, be careful here. If you want to play with BigQuery, play with it like your analytic platform, not like your database. Make sense? That's it, guys. Thank you.
A few moments later.
Thank you, sir. It was awesome.
Thank you, man.
All right, food times. It's a good thing is that we didn't have pizza. So that's awesome. This is for change. So that was good. Thanks again. That was really appreciated. Thanks, Boris. Great chat. That was your slide. So
good. Thank you.
So
I caught a little bit of beer.
Yeah. Okay, good. That was your picture from DevFest?
DevFest, yes.
Yeah, that was good. All right, so just wrapping things up, I've mentioned future event, like we'll have the Get Certified 2026. So if you follow our page, like the GDG Cloud Montreal, you'll see all the events. You'll see this pop up where it's already in draft. So we've selected the official dates. Mm-hmm. It's gonna run between March and April. So just keep an eye out if you're interested in following that track. There's a new one that popped up. It's called Gear. I have it later, so I'll skip it here. And I've mentioned the Build with AI also that's coming. I'll have the QR code. This is what's coming up. That was supposed to be Awunesh's slide because he's going to be the one running those sessions. We're going to be talking in detail what we're going to do. So, but anyway, it's a 6 weeks track. The goal is to get you to the ACE, which is an Associate Cloud Engineer. So keep an eye out. Awunesh is going to be the one helping. He's going to be leading. Then we'll have other people. And we're going to do this in person. So we'll do it at Davidson, Canada. So we'll be there 6 weeks, back to back. So we'll really want people to...
3 days in April? 3 days in March? 3 days in April?
Yeah, 3 days. 3 days in March, 3 days in April. So the idea is to be able to... we could do that online, but working closer with people just makes it better.
Yeah.
So that's the idea basically. Expert led. So we'll have GDG in place, six session schedule, and again, you get the opportunity to learn something new, and community learning, right? It's if you're not doing it alone, it's always good. So lag along. So that's not for the event. That's the other thing. This is if you have that's not for your Gmail. It's if you need to have a business email. It's a new thing that Google came out with. It's called Gear. And through Gear, you'll have specific training tracks also. You can have the Gen AI leader, not the associate cloud engineer, but the practitioner. So they are building those up. And it's a no-cost 9-week track that you can follow for certification. But you have to go with a non-gmail.com. So it's like mycompany.com. So
Can it be a business email from Gmail?
Yeah.
Like not a personal, but a business one.
Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, exactly. So if you're using Workspace and then you have your own mydomain.com and you're the only user, it's working as long as it's not
Yeah.
Gmail and and it's not it's not guaranteed, right? You have to.
Okay.
They're gonna check if they allow you in. So they're a bit picky, but it's something. It's free training, so it's always good. So have a look at this one. Could be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
Next one also like that popped up. This is not a certification. It's more like a personal training track you can do for free. It's called like Gen AI Professional Certificate. So somebody wants to like be more Gen AI savvy. This is out there. So you can go to grow.google/AI-professional. Scan the QR code. And then basically you have an instructor session. And that's, again, like I think it popped up this week. So when I saw that, hey, it's training. So let's update the deck to bring something valuable to the presentation and wrapping up so that way people can have a look of what's out there. That's the QR code for the Build with AI agenda. That's the GDG Cloud Montreal, GDG Montreal, Google Developer Group on campus, Concordia, Poly, and McGill. So it's on March 17, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. So in the McGill SSMU ballroom. So dress code business professional. We have a Discord. So if you have questions like after the event or whatever, then you want to engage, you can join us on Discord. We're actually we're piggybacking on the GDG Montreal Discord server. But if you go with the invite, the QR code, you go there, and then you have the GDG Cloud Montreal public channel. You can ask questions there, and then you'll see the rest of the channel available. So great way to connect with the rest of the community. Yes, sir. You can follow our LinkedIn page. So all the events are usually also added in there. Of course, the official page is the Bevy one, GDG Cloud Montreal. We have a website also that's fairly static, but the calendar is linked to it showed up there. So any events actually are listed in there with the link. So, but yeah, you're happy to follow us there. Anytime it's an event or something, it's gonna get listed in there. We also have a YouTube channel, so when we record, like tonight, and past events, they're all in there. So you can go back during the weekend with your family, watch GDG. Please don't. But you can do that. So we have it there. And actually, if you want to come and present what you're doing on GCP, it's open to everybody. It's not like just GDEs talking or organizers. It's everybody. So you're welcome. So you want to present, like this is what we're doing on GCP. You're welcome. You can ping us on LinkedIn, on Discord, or we actually have a form if you want to. You can just scan the QR code and submit, and then we'll book you in one of our upcoming events, and we'll be really happy to hear. It's always nice to have people from the community giving back that way, so that way people say, "Oh, that's what you're doing. Interesting. I didn't talk about that." So that's like having again context of other people issues, the way they fixed it. So okay, so maybe it's interesting. So it also triggers nice conversation. And on that, wrapping up everything. So thank you everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you everyone.
And just feel free to connect with us and just keep an eye out. We have a bunch of events coming. So looking forward to see you again.